In this video lecture, we'll be looking at how to build a simple calculator, or you can call it an advanced calculator in Java GUI. So here we are going to build this calculator exactly just as it is. Okay, and this calculator has its full functionality as a calculator. 3 divided by 6 is equal to 0.5. You go ahead and clear the screen if you want. 9 minus 8 is equal to 1.00, because I put it in 2 decimal places. So you can go ahead and put your own in 0 decimal place, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So 2, you can clear the button, or you use the backspace is working. You see that? Or you go ahead and clear the button. 2 times 1 is equal to 2.00. So the answer, I put the answer should be in 2 decimal places. All right. Okay, clear this screen, and 3 minus 3 plus 4 is equal to 1. You see that? It's working out fine. So go ahead and clear this. 8 times 2 is equal to 16.00. Use the backspace. You see that? It's working out fine. Okay, so this is all about the calculator we're going to build. It has its full functionality working out very well, and I believe that you are going to follow me step by step and make sure that you build this calculator from beginning to end. We are not going to change anything here. We are just going to build it exactly the way it looks, and you can go ahead and modify it and add as many functionalities as you want at the end of the course, and that will also help you a lot to become a better Java developer. So now that you've seen what you're going to build, let's go ahead and move on to the next lecture and kick off with environment setup for this particular project. So let's move up and go over to the next video lecture. Thank you, and see you there. In this video lecture, we'll be building a simple calculator project. Okay, we've been able to do 3 projects in this course, and this will be our 4th project so far. So move your mouse to File and hit on New. Move your mouse to Project and hit on Java Project. Go ahead and hit on Next, and go ahead and hit on Demo Calculator. Hit on this calculator, and we can call the package name and the class name Demo Calculator. So we have this calculator here. Go ahead and move to Source and hit on Other, and hit on Application Window, and hit on Next, and call this Demo Calculator. And I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it, and I'm changing this to lowercase Demo Calculator. So go ahead and hit on Finish. Oh, I know sometimes I speak too fast, but I'm trying to make sure that I communicate very well, because I want you to enjoy this course. Okay? So now that we have created this, go over to Design View, and we have this form right here. So the form does not look like a calculator form. You can go ahead and hit on this and adjust your form to look like a calculator. And here it goes. So go ahead and hit on Absolute Layout and drop this Absolute Layout inside here. So you can see the green border there, and I've dropped it, and you cannot see it again. Okay, we've already dropped it. I believe you've known about Absolute Layout now. So now, for our screen, so that you can see what you are typing when you are doing multiplication, addition, and so on, go ahead and hit on JText field and drop it here. So you can go ahead and stretch it to fit to size. So remember, we are still going to adjust this in future in case when we start adding our buttons. Okay, now we have a screen that will show us what we are typing on the calculator. The next thing we need is a button for the digit numbers. So go ahead and hit on J button, and you can go ahead and drop it right here. So your J button, you have to change the properties so that it's going to look very good. So if you want, you can stretch this, but you can go over to bounds and double click on bounds. You can change this to like a 100 by 100, the width and the height. Okay, we are going to leave the X and Y axis for now. We are going to touch it on the source view when we get there. So go to your font. Let's close this first of all, and I'm going to close this. So you can see that this text, the size 100 by 100. So let's deal with the font, make it bold, and let's change this to like 70. So you can make yours to be 50 by 50 in case it is too small. So I'm going to name this to be, for start, I'm going to change the text to 0. After, I'm going to rename them or change it to 0. And so 0 is here for now. This is a default. I'm going to change all this later. So now I have 0. I can copy this and paste, or I go ahead and bring another button and drop it again. So this button is right inside here. So I'm going to drop it here, and I can stretch this down and do other things, but we go ahead and do that simple so that we can speed up and stop wasting time. So change this to 100 by 100 again, and it will text its normal shape, and go to text and change this to 0, and go to font and change this again to bold, and I'll change this to 70 as well. Okay, I think I'm having, okay, it's arranged right now, and that is 100 by 100, and this is also 100 by 100. Okay, so now that we have this 100 by 100, we can still copy and paste all this. You can do this, copy this, copy and paste. You see that? And press this here. So now you need to stretch this your calculator so that it will fit in. You see that? You have taken care of this, and you can still go ahead. Let's bring this a little bit close. Okay, it's all right. So you can stretch the screen as well, just as I told you, until you get what you need. So I have all these 0, 0, and 0. So you can still go ahead and copy all these. I need this to be 5 rows. Let's go over and run this and see how it looks first of all. So this is how it looks. 0, 0 everywhere, and it's not working, it's not doing anything. So go ahead and close this and move to source, and I have these 4 buttons just right here. So what I need now is I can copy all this. I will name this first one as row 1. So put a comment there and name this as row 1, because I need this to be 5 rows. And let's go ahead and name this, copy all these, and come down here and name this to be row 2. Okay, you can see I didn't arrange this very well, and you see it shifted a bit, but it will not disturb my code. All right, so what we need to do now is, then the second one is going to contain 7, 8, 9 and minus. So let me change the variable name to btn7 for the second row, and I'm going to handle the first row later. So copy this. I need us to be fast, and without wasting time, I'm going to make sure I am not overspeeding. So this takes care of the second one. I'm working on the second row, and I left the first row. So btn 8, nine, and this goes to for the plus. Let's make this to be minus. Okay, this looks like a little bit confusing for us. I want the second row to contain 7, 8, for the third button 9, and the last button at the end of the row should contain minus. So for each of these, you change the variable, you copy the variable, and change all of them at the same time. btn 8, btn 8. So for the btn 9, you copy the btn 9 and you change this to btn 9, btn 9, and you also change this to btn 9. So for the btn minus, you copy this, btn minus, btn minus, btn minus. So now we've done this. What we need to do is, you can see that my x-axis, I'm having a difference of 110, 10 and 120. The difference between the two is 110. And the same thing goes for 120 and 340. So let's make this to be 230. And so this is 340. Okay, just in the same way, do that for the second one. So you arrange it from here, 230, 340. So now 110 difference, I'm going to use that to send 110, add 110 to 80, the second one for the y-axis now. So the second one is going to be 190, 190. So add 110 to 190. 110 to 190 is going to give me 0, 0, 300. Come on, 300. So 110 to 300 is going to give me 410, and the 410 with 110 is going to give me 520. 520. So let's go to the design view and check this out. Wow, I really stretched this so much. Come here, I really stretched this. It should be 190 throughout. I didn't supposed to change this. I was really working with the x-axis. So you can see that my first one have 80 throughout. So this is supposed to be 190 throughout. So go ahead and check it out again. You can see it's there. And when you go over here and run it, you see how it looks. Looking good. So let's go ahead and I'm going to leave this last one. That will be the last thing, so that I can keep pasting Yeah, it's more easier copy and paste this. Okay, let me copy row 2 instead of row 1, and I'm going to paste it. I have to change all this again to 4, 5, 6, and the last at end should be the multiplication. It should be x. Okay, so this should be btn4. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pause this video and do the same, and you see it. Okay, I've just finished row 3. Let me go over here and change this to row 3. So for btn4, I change all the variable names to btn4, and for 5, I change it to btn5, and for 6, I change it to btn6, and for multiplication, I change it to btnx. So now, I'll go ahead and copy this. Before then, let's view it and see how it looks, and make sure we are moving together. So come on, you see that? I still leave this as my default because I'm going to work with it at the end. I'll do that one by one. So now I'll copy the third row and paste it. So this is row 4. Okay, change this to 4. And this is going to contain 1, 2, 3 and division. So I'm going to pause this video again and do that immediately because we are moving together. Okay, I just finished that for row 4 now. You see that is for 1, 2, 3 and 4. And for division, not 4. So 1, 2, 3 and division. So I've changed that to btn1, btn2, btn3 and btn divide. So let me copy this again and do that for the last row. Copy this. And let's do that for the last row so we can keep moving. So this is row 5, and this is for 0, dot, plus, and equal to. So this is row 5. I'm going to pause the video and do that again. So for row 5, it contains 1, dot. This is for plus or minus. This is for plus or minus, so that it can be able to make it plus or minus at any time. And this is for the equal to. So I have changed the btn 0, btn dot, btn pm plus or minus, and the btn equal. So go ahead and put it down, and let's move again. So remember to change the y-axis always. Okay, remember to change the y-axis for row 5. For row 4, this is for row 4 is 410, row 5 is 520 for the y-axis, and row 3 is 300, and row 2 is 190, while row 1 is 80. So let's go ahead and run this and see how it looks. Let's check it out. Oh, you see that? We need to stretch this down a bit again. So let's close this and go to design view and check it out. So click on your panel and draw this down a little bit. So you see, we have a space here. So let's view it again and make sure everything is okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and take care of the 0 up here. And we need to be fast about that. And I'm going to pause this video so that I don't waste the time while doing that. Okay, I just finished the row 1 now. So I have the backspace, that is UF0E7. So I'm going to change the font size so that I will get the backspace very well. So this is a wing. Is that wing for the font? There's a font called Wingding. So that is what you put there, and this is the character you have to insert there. So it's for the backspace. So go ahead and change the variables, and for clear you put your C, and for modulus and plus. So let's go ahead and run this and check it out to see how everything looks. And I believe it's going to look well. And my system is really taking much time to open this up. I don't know what is wrong with my system. So this is the first time my system is really taking much time to open this. I don't know why. So now if we click, nothing is happening, and you can see that the backspace and the modulus didn't show. So the result is because the font size is too big. So let's go ahead and close this and go to design view. So I think I have many things open. Running Java and many other applications on the system is really crazy. So click on this button and go to here and move over to like 60. Let's change this 60. And you can see the backspace button is down there. So for the modulus, go back and put it to like 60 again, or anything of your choice. And I hope it's going to show now. The 60 is still big for modulus. So let's choose 50 for that. And here we go. Okay, so for each of them, if you click, you check the variable name, it has changed. You see that? btn5. So btn1, I kept 0 there, btn0 and not 1. So it's changed. And you can see that everything is now okay. So in the next video lecture, we go ahead and make these things active. So for the screen, let's also change the fonts to bold, and let's keep it at 60. Let's keep it at 60. We can change all this later. So this is all about designing the calculator, and in the next video lecture, we go ahead and get these things working properly. So I'll go ahead and keep it here as we call it a day and move on to the next lecture. Oh, this is not still showing. So go ahead and hit on this and reduce these fonts to 50. Let's reduce that to 50. And let's go ahead and hit on it again. And it's coming up. Okay, you can see the backspace is there and it shows now. So in the next video, we go ahead and activate them so that they will show on the screen, and we move ahead and keep working. So thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture. In this video lecture, we are going to activate the buttons we've just designed in the previous lecture here. Okay, so we'll be working only on the numeric buttons alone, and then after we go ahead and look at the operational buttons. Alright, but before then, I want to apologize for one thing that has been happening in this class all this while, and that is the presence of my background noise. And I've tried my best to make sure that is no longer a variable, and each time I try removing that, I found out that the audio quality is compressing so much. Therefore, I have no other choice than to keep it, and I am working seriously to make sure I soundproof this room so that I will not get background noise again. And I'm really putting a great effort to make sure I keep giving out professional courses alone. Okay, notwithstanding, let's go ahead and hit on design view right now, and this comes up here. So on the design view, we are working only on the numeric numbers, and that is 0 to 9. The operational numbers of plus, minus, multiplication, and so on, we are going to leave it until we are done with the numeric ones, and then we go over to them. Okay, so now let's go ahead and double click on any of them, but I'm going to start with 7. You can right click and go to event handler and move to action and click on action perform. You can do this, or you double click. So under here, I will go ahead and create a variable of string variable of enter value. That is the name of this. And here I'm going to get the text written on the screen, and I'm going to get the button that we pressed at that moment, and that is text display dot get text plus btn 7, because we are on the button 7, btn 7 dot get text. So go ahead and close this. So most people will ask me, where did I get text display? So under here you can see the text field is what I changed the variable name to text display. So let's look at it. So the text field here, you can see the variable name is text display. So that is where it will be displayed. So now, I'm going to drag this down again. I've not finished. I'm going to display the value with using set text. So go ahead and say text display dot set text, and the string that is the value holding that is enter value. That is the string variable enter value. So it will display the content there. So now, instead of going back to double click on each of the buttons or right click and do that, go ahead and copy this btn 7 and stop at this place. I'm going to do that again. So copy all of these. I'm showing you that I'm copying this. I don't want to do Ctrl C. So I copied it and go to each of the buttons. You can see where this started after J button btn 7. So go over here and press this and change this to 8 and change this to 8 as well. So go back to 9 and press this again and change this button to 9 and change this to 9. So let's go ahead and check this out and make sure it is working fine. So let's check it out. It's coming up. So 7, 8, 9. Okay, in case your own is coming from the left hand side, I'll close this and I'm going to show you what you do. So go to design view and click on this point, horizontal alignment. No, click on the text field first. When you do this, go to horizontal alignment here and hit on this. So you can see left, center. I'm going to click on left and let's run this. So you see that it's coming from the end. So if yours is coming from here and you want to shift it to right, go back here and put this to right and check it out again. Let's make sure it's working fine. 7, 8, 9. So 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 0 are not working. So close this and move back to your source code and let's check it out. So you've done this for row 1. Now let's go to row 2 and just do exactly the same by pasting this code here and edit this to 4 and this to 4. So this is for the only numeric numbers alone. You don't do this for the operational number, for the operational values. We are going to do that later. Therefore, I'm going to pause this video and do that for 3, 2, 1, and 0. Okay, I've just finished this for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you can see that just for numeric numbers alone, values alone, and I've added it and I edited them. So I believe you've done that. You've gotten the concept and you've known what I did. So go ahead and do the same. Let's run this code and check it out to make sure it is working fine. Okay, here I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So other ones, clear button is not working, backspace, all these are not working at all. Okay, what happened is that let's do that one more time for the dots so that the dots will work as well. So let's check over the dots because we don't need to leave this. So this is btn dot, and this is btn dot. Okay, because the dot is also one of the things we need. It's not an operational value. So let's check it out to make sure it's working fine. So you see the dot is working. Alright, go ahead and close this. So this is about activating the numeric values on the key or calculator, or the numeric keys, or anything you call it. So you've seen that it's working fine, and go ahead and do the same. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and look on the operational keys on the calculator. So thank you so much, and if you have any question, please put it down on the question and answer section, and I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture. In this video lecture, we'll go ahead and activate the operational keys in our calculator. So, first of all, we are going to start with the backspace key, and then to the clear button and others. So go ahead and hit on backspace. You can double click on this. Let's go over to action perform. So under here, let's go ahead and give a condition, because it is only when a text is on the display screen that is when this action can be able to work. Therefore, you can say if text display, so if text display dot get text, if text display dot get text dot length, so the length, if it is greater than 0, that means there is a value inside there. So this is outside this. If it is greater than 0, that means it is more than. So now something will happen, and that will be, let's say, string builder strb is equal to new string builder. So is equal to new string builder, and text display dot get text. So go ahead and close this. All right, because I am teaching, I used to pronounce things one, because I'm always finding it very difficult to be teaching and be typing at the same time. Sometimes I make lots of mistakes. So now you've created an object strb, and let's say strb dot delete, so that will be the delete sha at, and not just delete, because you didn't get it here. So that is s dot delete sha at. So text display dot get text dot length -1. So go ahead and close this. It will delete it until it make sure everything is off. Then text display dot set text, backspace. So that is for backspace, and go ahead and put a semicolon at the end. So let me check why. Okay, backspace, we didn't create a variable backspace, so go over here and say backspace is equal to strb dot to string. Okay, so this is going to activate the backspace to delete the text on the text display. So this is what is going to help that to do. All right. Okay, so let's deal with this on the line. Let's create a local variable, because this backspace should clear everything on the screen. Therefore, I'm going to say backspace, that is a string backspace equal to null. So the null will be here, and that will delete everything on the button. So let's go ahead and check it out. It's coming up, and it's saying backspace. You see that? It's working fine. All right. Let's go ahead and deal with the clear button, the C, and this is the clear button here. You can go to the design view, and from design view, you double click on this, and under here, once you click on the C, everything should go off on the screen. That means it should just be null. It's just simple text display dot set text. So set text is null or backspace. So I can put null, I can put backspace, they're all just the same. So you can go ahead and put backspace, and let's know why this is really not working. So go ahead and put null, because backspace is declared as a local variable. It's not a global variable. So I'm going to use null, and it will wipe off everything. So let's check it out and see how it works. It's coming, and let's go ahead. 1, 2, 5. So using backspace, I can clear this. You see that? But using clear button, everything wipes out the entire screen immediately. Okay, let's go ahead and deal with other operational keys. Let's start with the modulus. From the first row, we have modulus, and the modulus is here. So go to modulus, and here you double click on this, and under modulus you go ahead and type this code. Will help us to be able to delete all these, because we've declared this as a global variable. Num1 is equal to double dot pass double. So it's going to pass the variable of the first value you enter there, and which you enter into text display. So the content of text display dot get text, because you are using the get text to collect this information from the keys, from the numeric keys. So go ahead and close this, and text display dot set text display dot set text the operation for this operations which we declared before is equal to modulus. So go ahead and put a semicolon at the end and copy all these, because we are going to do this for all other operational keys. I've copied it and I'll go over to plus, which is below modulus, and press this. So change the operation to plus. So do this for all the keys. I'm going to move over to all the rows, the last button there, press this, and the operation here is minus. So let's check why this we are having a problem here. So let's check very well and make sure that everything is okay. Okay, going back, we didn't copy everything, we jumped, and that is why we are having issue. So I'm pressing Ctrl Z to put back everything. So if we want to copy this, you start from the last line and you copy from here, backspace, copy all these, all right, and go to the plus. Okay, so this is what I'm working on, the modulus. So from here, you copy from the modulus, BTM modulus, and you go to plus and paste. So sometimes copy and paste might lead you to a very big error. So change this to plus and change the variable to BTM plus. Okay, this is uppercase. So I've handled out of the plus and the error is gone. So go over to minus. For row 2, go over to minus, and after J buttons, go ahead and press this and change this to minus and change the variable to BTN minus. So now you've gotten the idea of what I want to do. I'm going to pause this video and do that for other ones, multiplication, and I'm going to show you afterwards. Okay, I've done that for divide, that is division. I've done that for multiplication, you can see that. So you can pause the video and copy that down. And I've done that for minus. So the one remaining right now is the equal sign. So let's go ahead and check others, but they will not work because the equal sign is not there to give us the value. But let's make sure that if we click on them, they can be able to work fine. So 8, 9 minus, you see that? Sure that it's working. So 6 plus, you see, working. 5 modulus, working. 2 divide, working. 5 working. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close this, and we have 2 buttons remaining, and that is the plus, minus, and equal button. They are not working at the moment. All right, so I'm going to do that in the next video so that we don't get everything jam-packed in one video, and most people are going to get confused at the end. So in the next video, we'll be looking at the equal button and plus and minus key. So the equal and plus and minus key, we are going to look at them separately so that you don't get confused in one video lecture. So for any question under this video lecture, please use the question and answer sections, and I'm going to get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video lecture. In this video lecture, we'll be looking at the operational keys plus and minus and the equal button. So we've handled other operational keys, and let's go ahead and check out the BTN button. So what happened is that I will not go ahead and be clicking or double clicking on the button. Just the same way, I'm going to copy any of these, starting from here, because I'll be coding that from here. Paste this here and go ahead and remove this from here. So now I'm going to create a variable. I'll call that plus minus. So I call that plus minus is equal to double dot pass double. So what this does is that it's going to get a string dot value. So the value of the text, text display dot get text. All right, so plus minus is equal to plus minus multiply minus 1. Press semicolon here, and it will always add minus 1 when you click or remove minus 1. So minus multiply minus is equal to plus, and minus multiply plus is equal to minus. So each time you click, it will add minus, and if you click again, it will multiply the minus and changing that back to plus. So text display dot dot set text string dot value. So we see this on the screen, value of string dot value of plus minus. So let's go ahead and check this out, and let's make sure it's working very fine. So 6 plus, so this is not active yet. Let's check it out and know why, what is happening. So close this and let's check it out. So I'm looking at this, I can see btn dots because I copied this from here, so I didn't change the variable to PM. So we've done this now. Let's go ahead and run this code again and check it out and make sure it is working fine. So copy and paste sometimes can lead you to something crazy. So you see that minus, you see that multiply again minus, and 3. Let's go ahead and clear this. 5 minus, you see that. So let's deal with the equal button and get this working very well. Okay, now we are the equal button. I'll go ahead and paste this as I usually do. All right, and I'm going to remove all this text, so I will start afresh to code mine. And this time around, we'll remember to change the btn to btn equal. So this is btn equal, and inside here we'll go ahead and write this to be equal to answer, which we've created before. String answer. So second norm is equal to double dot pass double. So after you've input the first one, second one dot display dot. So for each display we get text and we set text. So get text semicolon. So give a condition if the operation is equal to plus, minus, or any of them. So if operations is equivalent to plus. So if operation is equivalent to plus, it will go ahead and execute this. Result equal to first norm, second norm. Answer is equal to string dot format, and here the format is that the first one is going to have for the answer 2 decimal places, so it's going to be percentage dot 2f, and the second argument is going to be result. So for the first argument percentage, for the last argument is the result. So put a semicolon at the end and display this on the text. So display dot set text. So answer. So the value of the answer will be displayed, and once we've done this, we check again what was or what did the user press. That should be else. So else if operation is equivalent to minus. So I'll go ahead and copy all this. Let's go ahead and copy all this. So this is going to be minus. So we check others. This is operations. Okay, now I'm going to copy this for other operations, and that is if it is equivalent to multiplication x. So let's make sure that this is uppercase or lowercase, because they must always be the same. Okay, that is for the value under row 3 or row 4. Okay, that is uppercase for the multiplication. And the next one, else if it is division. So else if it is modulus. So the operation will change to modulus, and the operation will change to division, and the operation will change to multiplication, that is exteris. So let's go ahead and run this code and check it out and make sure everything is working fine. 6 times 6 equal to 36. You see, we gave it 2 decimal places, and you see the backspace key is working fine and clear is working fine. So 1 plus 1, 5. Go ahead and clear this. 1 plus, that is minus 1 plus 5 is going to be 4. Yeah, that is good. It's working fine. So we go ahead and check it out, and 5 modulus 3 is equal to 2. That is great. It's working fine. So I believe you are really enjoying this, and you've gotten to this point. I've seen that everything is really working very well. So 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. All right. So at this moment and at this point, you've come to the end of the calculation, or the calculator. I'm talking about calculations here instead of calculator. So you've come to the end of the calculator design, and you can see it working out fine. So I believe you go ahead and finish up yours and make sure everything is working out very well. So remember, I'm still going to teach you on how you can export this to be a standalone project at the end of this course. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you in the next video. But in case you have any question, please use the question and answer sections, and let's go ahead and deal with it immediately. So see you in the next project coming up.